Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of my Immigrant Diary. My name is Precious.
And my name is Wale. Precious, I recently flew on United Polaris business class. Well, I'm not sure what the verdict is, but that is an airline that I really, really like. It can be my airline now. Anytime I'm flying international, I'll probably use the United Polaris business class.
Good for you, man. But not
Yeah.
Spirit. I will never fly Spirit. Because I believe there are spiritual issues in that Spirit airline. But I want to hear all about your experience. Come on, shoot.
Yeah, so let me go back and start a little bit with my check-in experience. Before I flew, I was expecting to go to the airport, have like a separate check-in lane for business class. Usually business class and first class, they're side by side each other. So I was expecting to have like a separate lane, go there, check in and everything.
Hold on. What did you just say? Business class and first class are side by side? Is that what you just said?
If you're gonna check in, they're not in the same queue with economy class. So
okay, definitely.
Yeah, they have their own,
It's called the class.
exactly. But I was kind of thinking in that aspect, right? But United keeps sending me email that can, add my documents online. To be honest, I was a little bit hesitant because I've sort of tried to use my passport to register online for some service in the past. And eventually they said, oh, they don't accept passport that is not European. And so that was when I lived in Europe. So I was a little bit hesitant. So eventually, I think maybe like 1 week or 2 weeks before my trip, I decided to go for it. I put in my passport data page using the United app. You take a picture of it, and then everything was just good. Like it was very, very smooth. Like once I put my information, I was checked in, and you click some buttons and it just checks you in just like that. I didn't really have any issue with the check-in process. So the only thing I just needed to know is what to do, and I was just told that just go to your boarding gate with your passport and your boarding pass, and that was it. So you also add the bags online, but you have to take your bags to the check-in counter and they just collect the bag from you, and they'll add a tag, they'll give you the tag, they'll weigh the bags and they'll put it in. So that process was pretty smooth. After that, again, like I said in my talk about the United Polaris business lounge, when you book international business class ticket, you get to stay in the lounge. So I went to the lounge for a couple of hours, and once I was done, I headed to the gate. It was pretty straightforward. The plane configuration did not have first class, so it was only business and economy, right?
Okay.
All the seats at the front were all business class, all the seats at the back were all economy. So the business class folks, all of us were the first to get on the plane. Again, like it was the first time for me flying out of Washington, and also like going through that kind of check-in process. I was a little bit hesitant, is it going to work or not? But it did work. So it was pretty smooth sailing. Getting into the plane, it was dark. Even though we were flying around 3 p.m. or so, 3 p.m. or 6 p.m., I don't remember correctly, but they already made the inside of the business class area dark. I think that's what they do when you're flying through the night. That's just how it was. Another cool thing about the business class is that, probably this applies to all business class, you have like one person that is assigned to your aisle. So I think we have like 2 aisles in there, and there's one dedicated person for your aisle, which, it's just like 10 people or so, or 15 people, but not that much compared to like economy. You have one person dedicated there, and you can easily reach that person, which is something that is really nice. The staff was really friendly. A few minutes, maybe 40 minutes to an hour after takeoff. Before dinner, they did serve, they offered some drinks and some snacks. I had some nuts first. And that was like the welcome snack. You get like a welcome snack and drink. After a while, they start serving dinner. Dinner was really nice. For appetizers, I had like some salad and then sort of roasted duck, cold meal also, bread and butter. Bread and butter is pretty much all through the flight. You can order bread and butter as much as you want.
Okay. How much as you want.
Yeah, as much as even other snacks, really. So
I've never flown business class. I've only just see content about it and people talk about it, like you are telling me about, just the ability to all that stuff. Bro, and everyone that flown business class will say you never want to go back.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's true. Okay.
Yeah,
But
absolutely. I'm telling you, like, it's going to be extremely difficult to go back to economy class just because of the
right.
comfort that you get.
Okay.
It's so much more comfortable. I would say the food is excellent, but also the sitting position. I had a light flat. So they have like Hango flat and they have light flat business international flight. But on this one, this was called, I think, 737 Dreamliner. From Boeing. So it's one of their new aircraft. It was really, really well packaged. I had like enough space that I can put in a lot of stuff, whether, I want to put my phone, I want to put my bag, I want to put a book, whatever. I can add enough space to put that. I also have like a mini, maybe not a free, maybe a mini closet, but the extra places that you can keep stuff or even charge stuff. You have like, so there were a lot of things that you could take advantage of. And of course, if you want to sleep, you just press a button on the chair, the bed lies flat, and then you can take your nap.
That is really comfortable, Wale, because I know one of my biggest struggles when I fly, especially long flights internationally, is the leg room.
Yeah.
It's never.
Yeah.
I've never been on a flight or had the luck of maybe a good aisle seat, like some people get once in a while. Never had that luck. I struggle, man. I'm not very tall. I mean, I'm tall, pretty much, almost maybe 6 feet, but dude, man, that is my biggest struggle. So I can imagine just having that kind of the recliner, man. That's really comfortable.
Yeah, I can tell you that if for only the leg room alone, that's a pretty big deal. But then you have more than your leg, you can stretch, you can also walk out, because people in business class and higher class, they're very limited. So you can pretty much stand in the aisle and just walk around a little bit. Not a lot of people are going to be walking around just because they're, fewer people. So once the chair transforms into a bed, I think the only disadvantage I will see that for me, I have wide shoulders. So it was very, very tight on my shoulders and tight to move around on the bed. That's why I wasn't comfortable. And personally, I do like sleeping on my side, but still the hardness of the surface, it just doesn't make it comfortable for me to sleep on my side compared to when I'm sleeping on a bed and on a seat that is, that transforms into a bed like that. So I think that's the one disadvantage that I will see, that it's very not comfortable. It's like the cushion is not really there with the seats. But you do have enough space to move around, to adjust yourself way better than just going to be stuck on economy like this.
Oh my God. That's experience, like, man, man, I can't even explain. I feel really pained every time I have to go through that thing, man. I can't stretch. It's always a tough one.
Yeah, it is. So like that was good. No, those are the disadvantages. I'm not going to say because I wasn't comfortable, I'll not go back to economy. It was still way better than economy. So I understand that I have the privilege. I'm grateful to be able to experience that. Throughout these flights, I'm eating all the way from business class. I had dinner. My stomach was full throughout. I barely slept. I wake up. They say, "Oh, it's time for breakfast again." So I was basically full all through the flight. If it's about food that you really want to eat, you're not gonna lack if you fly business class. That's something I also appreciate. But I didn't need to do that because I had more than enough. But also on the flight, they had like consistent drink serving, consistent snacks like sandwich, not like biscuits, but even like sandwich, something like actually eat for like dinner or something like that. If you want to have that, they have that consistently throughout the flight. It was generally a really good flight, a really good experience, something that I would definitely like to try again. This was a trip from Washington to Lagos, Nigeria. So if I'm going to make a trip back to Lagos, Nigeria, definitely going to be business class. And probably very likely if I'm going to be flying even to Europe or Asia, wherever, it's going to be business class. But I think that the most important lesson for me about doing this especially is that I did all of this with business class, was with points, both flying to Lagos and flying back. Both of them I did it with points, and I could never have imagined I would have been able to do it. So basically in total, I don't think I paid up to 200, because when you pay with points, they still charge you for taxes and fees, which is what would be included in your regular fees anyway if you wanted to pay for the airfare. So that's what you actually pay for. So I think for outgoing flight, I probably paid maybe 60 something or 70 something. Then for incoming, I paid about $138. Maybe I'll try to get the exact fees later. If I was going to pay for economy, for example, I would definitely have paid more than that, more than $200.
Yeah.
Paying for business class for like 100 or something is definitely worth it, and you can do it. Everyone that's also watching can definitely get to that level. Everyone that migrates to the US can get to that level if they are successful with the path that we recommend, by working on your credit, using your credits to get points on your credit cards, from your points earning from your credit card, and you can use that point to book flights. And that's not the only way. Also, there are many other ways to get
Yeah.
points, but like
Yes.
that's one of the easiest way to get points, and
Yeah.
using that for your travel trip. The best way you can redeem your points is through redeeming it for travel, and you get a lot more value that way. So I think I will end it at this point so that we don't we don't make this too long of a video. But thank you so much for listening, Precious.
Yeah, thanks, Wale, for just sharing that. I'm hopeful that our viewers and people watching will find value in what we just shared. Please like, subscribe to our channel, and also share as well. Thank you again, and have a good one, everyone.
Yes, have a good one.